Everybody keeps telling business owners the same thing. AI can build your website. And they're right. It can. In fact, over the last few weeks, I built an entire website almost entirely using AI. The structure, the copy, the images, the blog articles, the meta descriptions, even the SEO recommendations. And honestly, it looked pretty good. Professional, modern, clean. There was only one problem. I don't think I trust that website to rank on Google. And after spending more than 20 years building websites for businesses, I think we're starting to confuse two completely different things: building a website and building something that deserves to rank. Because AI may have solved the easiest part of having a website. The difficult part? That hasn't changed at all. I've been building websites since 2005, long before AI, long before ChatGPT, long before people started promising that you could launch an entire business over a weekend. And over those 20 years, I've watched every major shift: Flash websites, responsive design, WordPress, SEO agencies, funnels, social media, no-code builders. Every few years, something comes along that's supposed to make the previous generation obsolete. And to be clear, I use AI every day. I use ChatGPT. I use Gemini. I use AI tools in my own workflow and in my own content creation. So this isn't an anti-AI video. Actually, it's the opposite. I think AI is incredibly powerful. I just think people are asking it to solve the wrong problem. Because building a website was never the hard part, and I don't think enough people realize that yet. So, I decided to test this for myself. I asked AI to build me a website, not just write a headline, an entire website. I had it create the site structure, the navigation, the service pages, the homepage copy, blog content, meta descriptions, suggested keywords, images. And honestly, the first impression was impressive. If I showed this website to most small business owners, they'd probably say, "Wow, that looks professional." And that's exactly why I think this conversation matters. Because the website wasn't bad. It was just generic. The homepage sounded like every other homepage. The services sounded like every other services page. The blogs sounded like every other SEO blog. The advice sounded like advice generated from every other piece of advice already published online. And then I started asking myself a question. If this website looks like thousands of other websites, why exactly would Google choose this one? Because that's the part nobody seems to talk about. I think there's a massive misunderstanding about what SEO actually is. A lot of people still believe SEO works like this. You publish content, Google discovers it, traffic arrives. That's the model people have in their heads. But that's never really been how it worked, because Google isn't running a participation trophy program. Google has one job: to decide which result deserves to be shown first. And that's where AI websites run into trouble. Because AI can create pages, it can't create expertise, it can't create reputation, it can't create experience, it can't create authority. And no prompt in the world can manufacture trust. That's not an AI problem, that's a business problem. And honestly, I think AI has accidentally exposed something that's been true about SEO for a very long time. AI didn't kill SEO. It exposed how much of SEO was never about writing content in the first place. Actually, I think the biggest lie being sold right now isn't that AI can build websites. It's that websites were ever the valuable part. Because after auditing hundreds of websites over the years, I've noticed something strange. The websites that rank well often aren't the prettiest, and the prettiest websites often don't rank well. I've seen businesses spend $20,000 on redesigns and lose traffic. I've seen ugly websites dominate search results for years. Why? Because Google wasn't ranking their design. Google was ranking their authority, and that's a completely different game. As I kept reviewing the AI-generated website, I noticed a pattern. It wasn't making obvious mistakes. It was missing invisible things. It didn't understand the actual customer. It didn't understand why someone would trust this business over a competitor. It didn't understand the local market. It didn't understand reputation. It didn't understand what objections customers have before buying. It didn't understand what makes one business memorable and another forgettable. And that's when I realized something. The problem wasn't that AI was creating bad content. The problem was that AI was creating average content. And average is probably the most dangerous thing your website can become. Because average websites disappear. Average businesses disappear. Average opinions disappear. And if every business starts using the same tools trained on the same data, producing the same content, what exactly is Google supposed to rank? That's not a rhetorical question. I'm genuinely curious. What do you think happens when every website starts sounding the same? I think business owners have been sold a very convenient story. Build a website, publish content, wait for traffic. But Google doesn't reward effort. Google rewards confidence. Confidence that you know what you're talking about. Confidence that other people trust you. Confidence that users find your content useful. Confidence that you're the right answer. And that's why two businesses can publish nearly identical content while one gets thousands of visitors and the other gets none. Because one business has authority, the other has pages. Those are not the same thing. And honestly, I think we're entering a strange period where creating content is becoming the least valuable part of digital marketing, which is ironic, because that's the one thing AI became incredibly good at. So, can AI build a website? Absolutely. Can AI help you build a better website? Absolutely. Can AI help you create content faster? Without question. But I think we're asking the wrong question. The question isn't, can AI build my website? The question is, why should anyone trust my website after it's built? Because that's where businesses win. Not in page count, not in prompts, not in publishing frequency, in trust, in reputation, in experience, in having something worth saying that nobody else can say exactly the same way. And honestly, after running this experiment, I walked away with an opinion that some people probably won't like. AI isn't making SEO easier. AI is making originality more valuable. Because if AI can build everyone's website, then the only thing left to rank is you. And if you would like more tips on running a smooth, profitable web design business, please like this video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any valuable tips. My name is Fabio Peters. Until next time, take care.